What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a little bit of lawnmower maintenance, changing some blades, maybe some bearings, put an air filter on it. Stay tuned. Alright, we're going to be doing some maintenance on a typical Troy-Bilt Pony 42-inch cut. I was going to just change the blades, and then I realized that I got some other issues to address. You can change the blades with the deck still on, but since we have other problems, I went ahead and dropped the deck. And I'll show you how to drop the deck quickly. First, that little hole in there is where this rod sticks through. That goes like that. Little clip on the side. And that's actually how you adjust the height of the deck. When you tighten the nut on the rod, it pulls the front of the deck up to help get a more even cut. Take that out, and in the back, there's these two pivot brackets, and there's two rods. They go through those two brackets right there with little clips, and then you have the blade engagement. See this little bracket right here? That sits down in that bracket. There's a little clip that holds that in, and then this spring will go right in that hole right there. Next, you have these two little belt guards with some screws. There's normally 3, 1, 2, and 3, but mine are both broken off. Use a 3/8 socket on your impact, and the brackets just go right here. And I believe that's the bolt for the other side that's broken off. Get those off, feed your belts out. Now we're going to tackle getting these pulley nuts off to get the pulleys off. Okay, so I went ahead and knocked the blades out, still on the shafts, and dropped the bearing spindles out. What I'll do is I'll get the numbers off the bearings. Just one there, one there, one there, one there. And one of these blades knocked out easy. The other had to pull the spacer off. Threaded the nut back on so that way when I hit it I wouldn't damage the threads. Knocked it out. Now I'm going to go ahead and take these nuts off. Should come off fairly easy. Or maybe not. Alright, so now we'll take these two blades, or maybe just part numbers and the measurements. There's a part number right there. That one says Oregon, both Oregon blades. Take the part numbers of the blades and the measurements and pictures, numbers off the bearings, and the air filter. Go to the parts house and see what we can come up with. Alright guys, finally got back from Ag South. Picked up 4 bearings and 2 blades. They didn't have the air filter I needed, which is not a surprise. The bearings were $2.50 and the blades were about $8.50 I think. Quick note, if you go to the lawnmower parts section, the bearings are $4.50. If you go back to the tractor parts, the same exact bearings are $2.50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock these bearings out. You can see there's a spacer down in there. So I'm going to use that spacer, put a bolt in here up against the spacer and hit it with a hammer to get the bearings out. Okay, so now we got the old bearings out. We're going to put the new bearings in. Make sure when you do it, your spacer goes in. Set the bearing in place. Find a socket that fits pretty good. You can grab your old one to make sure the depth is correct. Put your spacer in. Grab your other bearing. Push it down in. Much better. Now I'll do this one, and then we'll start reassembling everything. Alright, quick update. I got everything back together. I didn't realize this rod goes in there was kicked out. So I'd take this apart, take the spring off, slide this rod up into there, those little notches. Slide that rod up in there. So I had to take all of this apart with the spring. So now, go the right way. That works properly. So now I'm going to put the deck back on and let's go for a ride. What's up, guys? Well, 30 bucks, new blades, new bearings, everything's working really good. I had a couple issues here and there like normal. Another thing was I adjusted the front of the deck up and the cut's been a lot better. Before I was having to cut it on 5 and it was still cutting way too low, so I adjusted the front of the deck up. Now I can cut on 3 and it looks really good. 30 bucks for 4 bearings and 2 new blades. The blades are mulching blades. In the sand, they'll probably last the rest of the year. I'll keep the other ones and I'll file them down and keep them for spares. But at $8.50 a blade, why not just replace them when they go start not cutting right? If you have any questions about this, comments, whatever, leave them down below. And if you like what you see, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Thanks.